Everybody back good? Coach, if you just open up for the opening statement and take some questions.
Well, it's opening night for basketball, really, for all college basketball. But we don't play until Friday, and wasn't hoping it is. Against the Texas Longhorn team that's going to be, I think the event is going to be ranked. I have 3 or 4 starters coming back. Had a great recruiting class, and obviously Shaka Smart. Does an outstanding job. The team got to the tournament last year and played against the Nevada team that got to the Elite Eight. So I'm sure they're feeling disappointed in what took place last year. But new year, new team. Our guys are excited to have an opportunity to go and play in a regular season game and find out a little bit more about ourselves. So, and what a great venue to do it. You know, on ESPN. On Fort Bliss in front of the servicemen. What a way to honor the troops and the people that protect, our country. And so it's kind of a neat setting for us, and playing, like I said, an outstanding Texas team. So it's one that's going to be an up-tempo game. They like to pressure defense and press and get after it, and Shaka feels like he has the athletes to do that. We won't go away from what we do. Try to really get our defense to be the highlight of what we do. Be the headliner. Our defense creates some easy offense for us, and hopefully we can develop our bench and get an experience for a bunch of newcomers, 9 newcomers to our basketball team. So it's going to be some uncharted waters, and as I said, we'll get more answers to the questions that are at hand.
Mike, a lot of times, looking back, this is probably your biggest opener since you played UMass when you guys were 1 and they were 3.
What do you mean by big? I think all of them are big.
Well, I mean,
from
I guess marquee, from an opponent name standpoint, I mean, you're not playing, a smaller team. How do you feel about playing such a big game to open the season, especially with so many young guys?
Well, I think if you're a player, you look forward to that, and what better way to find right off the bat where you are in terms of from a team standpoint. Be either. When you think about what can take place, there's some excitement, there's some nervousness, and hopefully that excitement can help them raise it another level. But then it could also lead to bad execution. So from that standpoint, there's a lot of unknowns, but we get a chance to get a great evaluation early on. We're not playing at home. We're not playing, particularly on that home court. So we found a little bit more about ourselves real quick and early, and maybe that's going to be a lesson for us. Whether we win or lose, it's going to be a lesson for our basketball team.
And how did ESPN just come and say, hey, you want to play in this game? Or how did you guys get involved?
Yeah, it's one of those where we invited. I just think it just is, to me, it's a great honor for our program to be selected. I mean, they selected us, they selected Texas, and obviously Southwest Conference rivalries that we had in the years past, and I think the programs, respected programs in the country. So it's fitting. Like I said, it's on national TV, 6 o'clock on Friday, Central Time. So it's a great honor.
It looks like you basically played 9 guys, the core minutes in the 2 exhibitions. Is that, you kind of feel like you got that core group? You talked about wanting to find those guys. How do you feel about your rotation and how the new guys are meshing with the few returnees you have?
I think I got a better idea than, let's say, if you asked me a month ago, who are those guys? Some of those guys are going to be the core guys. I think it's still a moving rotation. We probably end up having 6, 7, maybe 8 starters. I don't know. But we'll see what takes place in the game setting. I think that's where you really find out a little bit more about your basketball team and the players that you put in those positions. So, but it's going to be a learning curve, and I know that. But at the same time, as I said, that nervousness, that excitement, hopefully can take you to another level where you play, hopefully out of your mind. But at the same time, I know there's going to be some nervous mistakes, but as long as we learn from it, I think we're going to be okay. And And the most important thing is you can't panic. You know, when you play at home on the road, you can't panic. You get down, don't panic. You get up, don't get too overjoyed about it. So just kind of having that even keel, and that's experience. You just got to go through it. And so that's why Daniel is going to be important in what we're doing in terms of trying to provide some leadership. Adriel with his experience, and a guy like Jalen Harris, and even, you know, as we watch Mason Jones, I think Mason looks like a guy that's played a little higher college basketball, a higher brand of basketball than high school ball. So those guys are going to be important.
How old do you know Shaka Smart? How have you seen his career kind of advance from his days as a young coach?
Well, I remember he was at Florida with Billy Donovan. He was an assistant there, and of course when he went to VCU, I've had, you know, he's kind of sit and talk with our guys. He watched a lot of stuff that we did at UAB, and that's why he got the names of havoc that he had at VCU. Obviously, he took that program to a Final Four, and really good basketball mind. He relates well to the kids, recruits well, and matter of fact, he's now, I think, getting the type of kids he wants there at Texas, and so I think you'll see Texas will be much even improved from last year. I think you got guys that fit what he's doing, but he's got an outstanding basketball mind, and I like him. I think he's a good person too.
Mike, you obviously experienced the Texas-Arkansas conference rivalry firsthand as an assistant, and the guys are saying you brought Coach Richardson in and talked to him. Kind of, from your standpoint, what does Arkansas-Texas mean, and did you just think it was a good idea to bring Coach Richardson in, or what led to that?
Well, I bring Coach Richardson every year to talk to all my teams. Wherever I've been, he came to talk to my teams at UAB each and every year. Just come in, and I look at him as being the author, the father, their grandfather, and the 40 minutes of hell, the fastest 40 minutes. He's that guy, and I always want those guys to get a chance to meet him. He's in their family, so that's not new there. We always bring him in. You know, he's been to a couple of practices and saw some of these guys. But you talk about, you know, there's been some tremendous games, some featured games. I was talking about the one that's strolling with Nolan the other day. You know, when Mayberry hits the shot, coach walks out. Before Mayberry hits the shot, coach walks out the Irving Center to the locker room. Of course, we make a miraculous play. Lee Mayberry hits a three-point shot, gets in overtime. Coach comes out and we win the game, and it was. We've had some great games with Texas. When we talk about the history in itself, Texas is Texas and Arkansas. It's a big rivalry, and those games meant a lot. We played one to go to the Final Four, I think it is, in '95, if I'm not mistaken. So, but all games are big. This is here the first game of the season, and so it's an opportunity for us to go out and try to establish who we are. Right now, we lost quite a bit last year. Everyone knows that. So it's like that hourglass half full. That's what a lot of people are looking at. And but of course, I'm the guy that looks at it a little, the half full, not empty. They look at it as half empty. I look at it as half full. So I'm looking forward to going out with this team here and see how these guys come out and play, and hopefully play with that intensity, play with that heart, that grindness, toughness, play together. And all we're doing is building trust with each other. And that's what you do with a basketball team as they come together, and they building that trust with me as well.
And Texas is playing tonight, so they're going to have a warm-up game. How big an advantage do you think that is for them, or disadvantage for you? And did you guys try to schedule a game earlier this week?
Our schedule is going to open up with them. We had a couple of exhibition games. I think they did a couple of scrimmages, and so that probably put them in a better position to have a game to open up, to play before this game here. And this is the first year they kind of backed up where you can play on that Tuesday leading up to, normally it's on that Friday that we're playing at, the opening day. So it seems like that it just moves further and further up. I mean, we're almost in October now playing basketball. So but we had an opportunity for one or two, but like I said, we had a couple exhibition games. And, this will be our first game, but will it give them an opportunity Yeah, I think it does. Give them the feeling of having an opportunity to be on the floor and play a game. And, but it is what it is. It's basketball, and that's how we're going to pursue it. You know, we'll have a good workout, and hopefully have a couple of good workouts before we play, and take it to the court.
Coach, when you look at Texas personnel, which players stand out, and how closely will you be watching their opener tonight?
Well, you know, of course, I think we played them 2 years ago. We played them in Houston at the Toyota Center, and we were fortunate to come out with that win. And some of those guys were like freshmen or sophomores. Curtin Roach, exciting player. I like that guard, it's Coleman kid. He's a really good basketball player. And then the big kid, the Dillon kid, number 21. He's probably the leading scorer coming back from that team last year. So they've got some guys that play quality minutes. Big kid Sims in the middle. It's going to be an athletic team, long, lanky. Probably two teams that are very similar. They probably got a little more seasoned guards, and of course they got some guys coming off the bench. One kid in particular, Courtney Rankin, someone I'm familiar with from St. Louis. We recruited him for the most part, and he ended up going to Texas. So it's a team that's going to have depth, and we always talk about higher depth. That's to our strength, but he has some depth on this team, as well. He's got a really good basketball team. Like I said, very, very athletic. They got quick guards. I'm talking about jump out the gym, and they're guys of size and versatile. They can step out and shoot the basketball. So we're going to have our hands full with this Texas team.
Like I was reading, I think their 5-man freshman class was rated in the top 10. How good a recruiting class is that? Are you interested to see? You got some newcomers, they got some newcomers, maybe how that plays out?
Well, we'll see. I think, you know, they have some outstanding players. As I said, he's built it the right way. But I think, you know, the key is going to be those guys, the Roach kid, and those guys that he's going to be able to develop. So, you know, our guys, I'm sure our guys are familiar with them, you know, playing on that circuit. They all play each other. So I said there'll be a lot of excitement in this game. A lot of new faces, a lot of young guys. As I said, they're a very good basketball team. But we think we're going to get a chance to be a really good basketball team as well. So we just get a chance to get a report early on.
So which of your newcomers have impressed you the most, or maybe made the most progress since you started practice?
I would think probably the guy that probably is Keyshawn. I think Keyshawn is really, you know, he had that injury, had surgery, and he didn't do a whole lot with us early on. And then he came back from the fall break when he got back here. I think he's starting to really get into a little rhythm. You know, I think his body is getting into the kind of shape you got to have to play at this level here. I think he's understanding you can't take players off, and just maybe getting out of that soreness. He's one of those guys. I think Dez has been playing at a high level, been pretty consistent. So those guys, and I'm basing that on playing against each other in practice each and every day. In the 2 exhibition games, we've seen the flashes of what Cheney brings to the table. But I think right now, to beat the guy Keyshawn would be one of those guys.
And Isaiah, obviously.
Oh, without a doubt, Isaiah. I mean, he's been, from day one, he's been really consistent. I mean, it's a testament to him. And I'm looking forward to him, you know, in terms of how he comes out and plays in this game. Not only him, but, you know, our whole basketball team. But Isaiah's been, without a doubt, each and every day. I think he impresses me each and every day.
Yeah, is there anything you can do or have done to kind of prepare the guys to play in such an intimate setting? I mean, you're not going to be playing in a 10,000-seat arena. It'll be pretty tight, I figure.
Well, I mean, we've had some practice over in our practice facility or performance facility, but other than that, we've been practicing here. We'll play with a different ball. I think Spalding is the ball we use, and it's going down there. We'll get a chance to go into the gym, I think, at least once, and we'll work out a couple other places there on the base. But no, it's going to be basketball. So we just got to, you know, the goals be 10 feet high, court be 94 by 50. We just got to be able to put in a hole more than Texas. that's the biggest key right there.
You guys are doing some clinics and things too?
Yeah.
Are you just looking forward to being on the base and being around the troops? And
Yeah, I think it's pretty neat. Our guys get a chance to be in their surroundings, you know, and probably they're going to take them on a tour of all around the facility there, and maybe see some of the things that they do in terms of the workouts. And I think it's pretty neat. Some of their families. I think one night we'll bowl and be there with the families. We're going to do a clinic. Our guys will be performing in the clinic. I think they got set up maybe a pickup game between the officers, and you know, and maybe I get a chance to coach and just have some fun with them. I think it's kind of a laid back, but at the same time, it's a good setting for our guys to learn a little bit more about, you know, how others, you know, especially the troops and their families and things that they do behind the scenes. It's a great education experience for our guys, and that's why I said to be selected to play in this, and like I said, it's a great honor. I'm looking forward to it. I know our players are really looking forward to it. We have a couple of guys, you know, some guys from the Texas area, so you know they're looking forward to going home in the state of Texas to have an opportunity to play against the University of Texas.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Okay.